Good morning, YouTube. Said on Twitter last night that I was tired, that I've been working on a project all week, and that I'd show you today. So here I am showing you. A little bit of a background, though. I've wanted a hobby, like a real honest-to-goodness hobby, for a very long time. But for one reason or another, all the little things that I'd try out just didn't work out. They're too expensive. I didn't have the patience to learn. I didn't have the interest to learn. I guess not. That's patience. It didn't hold my interest, I guess is probably the best way to put that. And anyway, we got a catalog for the John C. Campbell Folk School, Monday or Tuesday, I forget which. And was just looking through, all the classes they offer, and my beloved and I, we've always thought, man, it'd be really neat to go to one of these schools and take some of these classes. And I'm not really sure, I was never really sure which class I'd want to take, but this catalog came in the mail, and I'm looking through all the offerings, and I keep looking at the blacksmithing offerings, and I think, I've always thought that was really, really cool. Whenever I went to a rendezvous or any mountain man gathering, I'd always love to sit and watch the blacksmith. But, man, blacksmithing, that'd be hard to get into. You gotta have a forge, and you gotta have an anvil, you gotta have all this specialized stuff, and I'm sure it costs lots and lots of money. So I, never really considered blacksmithing. But man, looking at that folk school's catalog got me really interested, really curious. So I started looking at blacksmithing on YouTube. Well, suddenly I'm finding, plethora of videos of, well, this is how I made my forge for nothing. I made my forge out of scrap parts, this and that and the other. And well, to start blacksmithing, you need a forge that you can build yourself. You need a hammer and an anvil. But for an anvil, you could use the head of a sledgehammer. You could use a railroad rail. And all of a sudden the light bulb was going off in my head. Hey, well, maybe it's not so hard to get into blacksmithing as I thought. So anyway, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I went in and working, driving a bus, and was talking to the mechanics, saying, I think I'd like to try this. And I was talking about what I need, and suddenly people are coming up to me. Oh, you need one of those? I've got one of those you can have. You need one of that? Oh, well, I got one of those too. And from Tuesday, and today is Saturday, from 4 days, 5 days, whatever that is, suddenly I've got a blacksmith's forge. Made out of an old brake drum, and it's not quite finished yet. We've got the other brake drum back at the shop, and we're going to make a nice little stand for it to hold up onto, so that I don't have to use the bricks like that. And when I started putting it together, the idea was to use 3-inch iron pipe. But nobody around here sells 3-inch iron pipe anymore, and mechanics at the bus barn said, well, we just get some scrap exhaust pipe and weld that together. Won't that work? Oh yeah, I think that'll work. And then we found a piece of scrap steel here and drilled some holes in it, and that way the coal don't fall through. Get some airflow, and then hook my blower up here onto the side of this tube here, and then get the air coming up through and get me a good old fire going. Says, well, now I just need an anvil. And wouldn't you know it, somebody had an old piece of railroad rail in their shop too. Oh yeah, you can have that. I didn't do a very good job selecting that stump, did I, though? Well, I'll have to find a new stump sooner or later, and I'm excited, Blacksmithing doesn't have to cost a lot, it turns out. Found a book how to make all your own tools, and I'm just excited just to find old scrap pieces of stuff and turn into new stuff. I found this old grounding rod on my property years ago, and I've just had it sitting in here, and I thought, well, what in the world am I going to do with that? Now I'm thinking, well, gosh, there's a lot of things I could do with that. Now, got me a hammer. One of the guys I watched his video said, just get yourself a 2.5 pound flat-faced, double flat hammer. And Well, I looked all over the place. I looked at all the farm store and the hardware store. Nobody had it, just a plain 2.5 pound hammer. And then I was at Walmart, just happened to be looking at Walmart, and buried at the bottom is this really cheap. I mean, this is really cheap. This was like $7, 2.5 pound hammer. So I don't expect it's going to last very long, but while I'm starting out here and just learning to play around, it'll be all right, I reckon. A friend of mine makes knives. He said I need to dress up the face of this hammer. There's quite a few little marks and stuff on there, but that's all right. We can learn as we go. So here's your wannabe blacksmith signing off. Hope y'all are well, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.